Hello there and welcome to the Baron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and today I'm talking about a game just because it was out on my table. Today I want to talk about Tumblin Dice. Tumblin Dice is a real simple game, as you can tell from the back here, as it pretty much just has 2 steps to it, and that's just saying, into the game. It says 2 to 4, but really, I've got something about that. 13 and up, that's ridiculous. Unless you're worried about kids choking on, like, the dice or something, there's no reason smaller kids can't play this game. 45 minutes, the game's actually pretty variable on how long it plays, because you can adjust the rules really easily. But, yeah, let's open this up and get to talking. There is some assembly required here for this game, but let's get this board thrown together. There we go. Once you've got the board built, the only part of setup left is for each player to grab a set of 4 matching dice. On your turn, simply take one of your dice and flick it, roll it, bounce it, whatever, from this spot, the launching pad, down the board. All that matters is that it touches this first. You can set it down and flick it. Too hard. You could do like sort of a bounce off. Oh man, not hard enough. You could do a little bit of a slide if you wanted. As long as it does roll and it does not stop here, you're good. Obviously, if you slide off the board like I did, that is a dice that does not score. If your dice does not make it past the 0 section, you remove it from the board. Anywhere else, it stays. But anyway, once one player does their die, dang it again, then the next player comes up and does one of their dice. Then the next player, and so on forth, until every player has thrown a die, and then you just repeat the loop until people have thrown all 4 of their dice. It is perfectly legal to bump other players' dice. Yes. Once every player has thrown all 4 of their dice, it's time to add up your score for the round. For every dice that landed on the board, you will take the number you rolled times the number of the level it landed on. So this is 1 times 1, so just 1 point. This one, however, would score 5 times 2, so that die is worth 10 points. This one is 2 times 3, so that die is worth 6 points. And this one is 4 times 4, so this die scored 16 points. Again, add up the score of all the dice you landed on the board, and that is your score for the round. Once everyone's done adding up their score, just be sure to gather all your dice again and go another round. The main rules of the game say to play 4 rounds. After 4 rounds, whoever player has the highest score wins the game. Easy enough, right? But like I said, you can really easily make this game change up to kind of fit how you want to play. They give you a few ideas for variable rules. I'll give you a few ideas as well. Instead of playing 4 rounds, you could play to a set score, like saying first player to reach 100 or 200 or something like that, and then you just play rounds until at least one player or more have gone over that score, and then whoever goes over it by the most wins the game. There you go. Sometimes when we play it, we don't even add up multiple rounds. We just play each round as its own solo game. You played, you won that game, let's play again, see who wins the next one. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to mention ties. In the standard game, if you end up having a tie, you just take whatever players tied, probably just 2, and have them play around with just themselves to see who ends up winning the game. Like I mentioned earlier, I have no idea why they say 13 and up in this game. It's got to be a choking hazard thing, because otherwise it's just multiplication, and I'm pretty sure most kids know multiplication before 13. But also, even if the multiplication part is too hard for younger kids, which for the most part you can just do the multiplication for them if you're playing with the younger kids, but if you had a group of younger kids playing, just change it from multiplying to plus. So let's show you an example. So if you're playing the plus version instead, it's 3 plus 1, so that die scores 4 points. 1 plus 2, so that die only scores 3 points. 5 plus 3, so that die scored 8, and 5 plus score, that die scored 9. A little bit easier math. Now, I also mentioned earlier that I would have something to say about the player count. The game comes with 4 sets of die, the 4 sets you've been seeing me play with, but at my house, we really like trying to find ways to squeeze more players into games. And for us, we didn't see a good reason why, other than the board getting a little more crowded and hectic, you couldn't have more players. So we just went online and started buying a whole bunch of different dice. So other than the 4 sets it comes with, we also have all of these. For the most part, we really just use it where you have a larger selection of what color you want to use for the turn. But technically, with all these different sets, we could technically play with 15 players in one game, as insane as that would be. Again, a game this simple is so easy to add your own rules to and your own variety to it. You could play team versions of it. They actually mentioned that in the rules and stuff. You could play drinking versions of it. I've done that where we've made it where every die you land on the board is a drink you get to give away to another player, and every die that misses the board that lands off is a drink you have to take yourself. But whatever, it's such a simple game, easy to toss whatever. It's like shuffleboard, but you add some dice into it. Really, I don't know what this review is going to do for you because you probably got it pretty early on whether or not you were going to like this game or not. Either you're into that luck-based dexterity thing like I am, or you definitely want more strategy in your stuff and you wouldn't come within a mile of this game. But for me personally, Tumblin Dice is very much Baron approved.